At the beginning of the movie, we learn about the Ajins. They are a new form of half-humans who have the ability to resurrect after severe wounds. Ordinary humans are afraid of Ajins and do not trust them. The creatures were first discovered in 1990. Governments began using them as ideal soldiers, and nowadays the Ajins are being subjected to terrifying experiments. In one of the laboratories, Ajin are tortured time after time to test their pain threshold and ability to be revived. The hero recalls that he realized he wasn't human after he was hit by a truck and resurrected. Kei Nagai was sent to the hospital afterward. Most of the news began to discuss the appearance of a new Ajin. After that, the hero was brought to a research center, where terrible experiments began. Scientists repeatedly deprive Kei of life to learn the secret of immortality Ajins. Their head, Tosaki, receives permission from the government to continue the experiments. Suddenly, the complex is attacked. An Ajin named Sato greets Tosaki on camera and reminds him that 3 years ago he had already stolen his partner Tanaka from the labs. The guy learns that a new Ajin has been delivered to the complex, and so he decides to come to his aid. Tosaki sends the military to detain Sato and asks them to use only tranquilizer darts. During the battle, Ajin loses his arm and is also hit several times. Sato takes his own life in order to be reborn already uninjured. After that, the guy easily copes with enemies. Tanaka also successfully incapacitates the military. Sato saves the hero and offers to fight for the rights of Ajins together. The guy asks Kei to destroy the scientists who experimented on him. The hero refuses, which makes Sato very angry. Kei cuts off his arm to get the guy's attention and attack him from behind. However, Sato does not get wounded. A battle ensues between the Ajins, during which Kei learns that he can summon a ghost from the smoke. The hero manages to escape their lab, however Sato follows him. Tosaki stays in the conference room with his assistant and observes what is happening. Kei decides to escape, and so jumps from the roof of the laboratory, which is seen by the astonished press. Meanwhile, Sato returns to his friend, who is dressed in a hospital gown. The guy drives Tanaka to a crowd of journalists and decides to make an official statement. Sato reveals that Ajins are actually being forced to participate in experiments. Many industrial and pharmaceutical companies use them to test their new products. During 2 years in the laboratory, Tanaka was subjected to various horrors and abuse, which can be checked on the website Ajin.com. Sato asks the government to recognize the rights of the Ajins and to create a special area where they can live. These statements create a real stir on the internet, which angers Tosaki. Meanwhile, a tired Kei rambles through the forest. Soon the hero meets an elderly woman named Yamanaki. She invites Kei to her house and allows him to stay. The hero does not understand why Yamanaki would do such a thing, or whether she knows that she is an Ajin. Sato is pleased that his speech has resonated and sends Tanaka on a special assignment. Meanwhile, Tosaka's assistant comes to the hospital where Kei's sister is. The girl is trying to find out if the hero has contacted Eriko. Suddenly, Izumi is attacked by an invisible creature. Tanaka remotely managed to summon the creature. To the guy's surprise, Izumi also turns out to be an Ajin. While the two ghosts are busy with each other, the girl tries to save Eriko. Izumi manages to save the hero's sister, but Tanaka discovers her true identity. Tosaki appears on television and tries to refute Sato's words about the cruelty against the Ajins. The hero wakes up early in the morning from a nightmare in which he is tortured again in the laboratory. Meanwhile, Sato purchases a large number of weapons, for which he pays with human organs. The guy sends a video to television in which he announces that he is preparing an attack on the building of the Ministry of Health, since his demands have not been met. Kei goes to the hospital in the morning to see his sister, and takes her away to keep her safe. Yamanaki is happy to have a granddaughter in addition to her new grandson. Kei, who was studying to become a doctor, worries about his sister and asks her to rest more. In the evening, the girl tells Yamanaka that it was for her and her health that the hero decided to become a doctor. Kei rejoices that his sister has found a common language with a woman. While they occupy each other, the hero tries to train his ghost to become obedient to commands. However, the training goes with great difficulty. The day comes when Sato promised to destroy the building of the Ministry of Health. Many journalists and military men gather around him. At exactly 3 o'clock, as promised, the building is destroyed due to an airplane crashing into it. Sato welcomes the new Ajins who have decided to join him and asks them not to be afraid of the approaching Sada. However, the troops deal with the guy by taking his life every so often so that he doesn't have time to be reborn. Tosaki tells the assistant that it was his idea. However, a Tanaka sitting on a rooftop comes to Sato's aid. This gives Sato time to be reborn. Ajin re-enters the battle, with Kei watching the broadcast closely. Sato is badly wounded, but he takes his own life to be reborn, renewed and ready for the offensive. The Sada troops are unable to repel the furious Ajin attacks. At the same moment, numerous reporters begin knocking on Yamanaka's door. The woman confesses to Kei that she knew he was an Ajin, but decided to help anyway. Yamanaki allows the hero and his sister to escape through the back door, while she herself talks to the journalists. Sato, meanwhile, destroys the troops and reminds the Japanese government of his demands again. The guy wants Tokyo declared an Ajin autonomous region by 8 o'clock tomorrow. If this is not done, Sato promises to spray poison gas over the city. The next day, Tosaki negotiates with the Ajin. The man offers to give up a couple of islands for half-humans to live on. However, Sato is not satisfied with such conditions, because he wanted to get Tokyo. The government reprimands Tosaki for his inept negotiation. People panic and flee from Tokyo while a new anti-Ajin military unit is formed. Tosaki returns to the lab when he suddenly notices the hero standing nearby. Kei gets into the man's car and offers a deal. The hero is going to fight against Sato and says he has come up with a plan to neutralize him. In return, Kei asks that his sister be sent for treatment and he himself receive new documents. The hero arrives at Tosaki's headquarters and says that Sato will go for gas in one of the laboratories. It is there that the fight will best be carried out. Meanwhile, Tanaka tells the newcomers that Sato has been in a laboratory where he was abused for 20 years, starting from the moment he was born. Tosaki talks to his assistant and asks her to protect him if something suddenly goes wrong. Izumi promises to do her best. Early in the morning, Tosaki and his team arrive at the factory where the poisonous gas is stored. Sato and the Ajins also go to the place. Kei informs them that he has come up with a plan to neutralize the enemies. To make it work, the Ajins need to be lured into a room next to the office. One of the Ajins, meanwhile, infiltrates the building and disables communication with the security system. Kei finds this to be quite expected. Tanaka and his two partners enter the building and cause a commotion. Ajin, who has hacked into the security system, coordinates their movements. Tanaka realizes that the gas is in the director's office on the 49th floor. The Ajins fight their way upstairs to the desired target. Sato himself is riding a bicycle while singing a cheerful song. Tanaka's team manages to get to the 12th floor, eliminating the Sada forces. Tanaka's buddies are having fun eliminating the guards. They don't notice Kei lurking among the men. The hero contacts Tosaki and tells him that Sato himself is not among the attackers. Kei finds this suspicious and asks the man to be prepared for an unexpected attack. Tosaki manages to locate the Ajin who has hacked into the security system. However, Izumi, who arrives on the scene, reports that the enemy is simply playing hide-and-seek, leaving equipment on the floors to mimic his signal. Kei, meanwhile, sends his ghost upstairs. He finds Ajin and informs Izumi of his location. Sato, meanwhile, attacks the workers in the strange room. Izumi manages to catch Ajin, and he regains control of the system. Kei sets a trap for Tanaka and his team. Using a fan, the hero sends many particles of his essence into that very room, which can be used to create a ghost. In the darkness, Tanaka and the Ajins become helpless. Humans, on the other hand, are unable to see the Ajin particles, and so they easily hit their enemies. Tosaki realizes that they have captured 4 Ajins, but the main danger to them is Sato. The guy decides to move into the building in a very unusual way. Sato's hand is in the bag of one of the Ajins that was caught. The guy tells him that when destroyed, the Ajin regenerates around its largest part. Sato purposely falls into a machine that chops a tree into splinters, then ends up right in the building he needs. Kei puts his ghost in front of a fan to disorient the guy. The plant manager rejoices and approaches the sleeping Sato. However, it turns out that he covered himself from the darts with his ghost at the last moment. Sato destroys all his enemies while the hero tries in vain to get to him. The guy awakens Tanaka and goes with him to the room where the gas is stored. Sato opens the cell and takes out a glass container with the active substance. The guy goes up to the helipad, intending to spray the gas and fulfill his promise. Meanwhile, Kei gets to the trap room and realizes that the entire Tosaki team has lost their lives. The hero contacts Sato and learns that the enemy is waiting for him at the helipad. Kei asks Tosaki to move the teams into position, after which he goes upstairs. The hero gets to Sato and starts a confrontation. Kei manages to take the gas away from the ghost, after which he escapes from the enemy shooting at him. Tosaki is climbing the stairs when he is attacked by Tanaka's ghost. Izumi saves the boss by releasing his ghost. Fighting the hero, Sato asks why Kei decided to side with the humans and started protecting those who were experimenting on them. Meanwhile, in the midst of the battle, Tosaki eliminates Tanaka with a dart. With the help of his ghost, the hero tries to do the same thing to Sato. However, Kei's ghost brings him back to life. Tosaka's team saves the day. They freeze the Ajins and destroy them. Tosaki regrets destroying the hero. However, Kei emerges from their hand, which he cut off beforehand. Later, we see Sato's hand pick up the hat he dropped. This is the end of the movie. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this movie, and see you in new videos.